We have these beautiful kids who will be talking about their journey, their stories, how their friends, their parents have been able to accept their decisions and learn a lot from them. They're tiny little vegans, but they have a lot to say. I hope their stories inspire you and help you take the right decision in your life. Before we go forward, I'd like to introduce you to my co-host, um, Anupriya. She will be talking to you more about this. Over to you, Anupriya.
Namaste from Singapore. I'm Anupriya. I'm the co-host and I have been vegan for around 8 years. I'm raising two rocking vegan kids and I'm a budding vegan entrepreneur, artist at heart and a very hardcore environment activist. And I would like to tell you something about Sthala. Sthala is passionate about building communities for social change. It brings like-minded people together, helps them share, learn, engage, and grow together as a community. I would request all of you to please keep the microphone on mute during the session. And if you have any queries, you can use the chat box. Let's begin our wonderful session.
All right, so let's start with introducing our little warriors here, little kids that we have over here. Can I start with Swara and Tanvi, two little girls?
Hi. 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 My name is Swara. I'm 7 years old. I'm going to be vegan since February 2020. I live in Kerala. My name is Tanvi. I'm vegan since February 2020. I'm 4 years old. I'm from Kerala.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. I want to introduce, is Saket here?
Yes.
Okay, Saket, why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is 9 years old and
vegan.
I'm vegan and I am crazy and cool.
Okay. Saket, I can't hear you. Can you please speak a little louder? Are you shy?
My name
is Saket and I'm 5 years old.
I'm vegan.
And I'm vegan
I'm healthy.
and cool. And cool.
All right. Welcome. Next, we have Advait and Vyapti, two siblings who've been vegan. Can we have you guys?
Hi, my name is Advait Sharma. I'm 9 years old and I've been vegan since 5 years.
Awesome.
Hi, my name is Yapti Sharma. I'm 5 years old.
Okay.
I'm vegan since birth. When I'm baby.
Wow, very good. Welcome. Next, we have Nirvan. Nirvan, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Nirvan and I am 9 years old. I have been vegan for my whole life and I live in America.
Thank you, Nirvan. Next, we have Om and Vedika. Again, we have siblings. Can we have you guys tell us about yourself?
Hello, I'm Om. I'm 14. and I've been vegan for 7 years.
Hello,
Great.
I'm Rita and I'm in Singapore. I'm 8 years old and I've been vegan for my whole life.
Very good, Vedika. Welcome. Do we have Aranya here?
No, as of now, we don't have her.
Okay, so whenever she comes, we'll have her introduce herself. How
Sure.
about Devi? Is Devi here?
Yeah, Devi is here.
Hi, Devi. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Devi. I am 15 years old. I am from Kerala and I'm staying in Kerala currently, but I actually stay in Bangalore. That's where I stay. I've been vegan for the past few months now, and yeah, I would do everything to support animals. Yeah.
Very good, Devi. Welcome. So, we have some kids here who are vegan by birth. So probably, the parents influenced them, or the parents were already vegan. And then we have some kids who turn vegan at a certain age in their life, like Devi and Om. We'd like to know more about that. Om, since you became vegan when you were 7 years old, how was your journey? Like, was it difficult for you to make the transition? Because at 7, you really want to eat a lot of things, right?
Yes, the transition was not really hard for me, as I wasn't much of a fan of things like cheese and no, I didn't really eat too much of those non-vegan stuff, and so the change was fairly easy for me. The only thing that I found hard was not accepting chocolates from my friends at school, and I stopped accepting. And when I went for my friends' birthdays, I got my own cake to not eat their cake.
Okay. Yeah, I think that is when you're younger. I think that is one thing that cakes and chocolates are something that you really want to have, and that change you need to make. But I think nowadays it's very easy to do that, right? A lot of vegan chocolates, a lot of vegan cakes available.
Yes.
Okay, great. So I think we have a question for our audience and all the kids over here. Anu, do you want to take that the poll?
Let's go ahead with the poll, and can we have the poll question? So which of these will you eat and which of these will you pet? You can choose multiple.
You have 1 minute to answer. All the kids can participate. Everybody who's here on the call can participate, and you can make multiple choices in this.
So which of these will you eat?
Once we have the green poll in progress button that goes away, we'll display the answers. Hopefully this is an easy one. Okay, so the poll in progress is over. Now the results are here. So you will eat the strawberry. Looks like 93% people agree. And some people are saying we'll eat the chick. Apple and watermelon, they've got the highest scores. So strawberry, apple, and strawberry is the clear winner, I guess. Can we have Swara and Tanvi talk a little bit about this?
Strawberry is a fruit and apple is also a fruit. So people don't understand that they,
We have to pet.
we have to pet the animals, not eat the animals. That's why we need to eat strawberry, watermelon, apple.
Okay, that's great. Tanvi, you want to add something?
And we want to say something else.
People are taking milk from animals and they don't understand. They keep on drinking milk and
Milk from what?
milk from cow and they are getting hurt and it's for the baby cow and the cow the milk is for the person's baby's persons the
Human beings.
human beings babies has to
Drink
drink
human's milk.
and cow people can't drink milk of cow then they will get hurt in themselves. The cow will get
You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. And I see that you have teddy bears in your hand. Do you know that the reason, the reason kids are given teddy bears and stuffed animals is because kids are born with that compassion. They gravitate towards the bunny rabbit, they gravitate towards the teddy bear, they will gravitate towards a little pig that's on the street, or the dog, or the cat, because it's inborn. We are born with the compassion. All the kids' storybooks will always have animals as the main characters, but somewhere along the way, the music, social conditioning, somebody will say, oh, don't touch the dog. So we kind of learn from the social surroundings, from our elders, that we don't have to love animals. Actually, we are born with that love, and the kids are displaying it so beautifully over here. They have these stuffed animals, which already, I bought it for my son. I think everybody does it. So that's what it is. I think we love animals. It comes from within.
So right, Neetu. And I would also like to ask a few kids here that, people go to zoos and parks where there are birds in cages. They watch live shows where animals perform. So, Vedika, could you tell me why do people go to zoo, and do you think it's right? Vedika, you're on mute.
I would like to answer, please.
Yeah, Advait, after this, your turn.
Okay.
So people go to zoo. Do you think it's the right thing to do?
No. When you go to the zoo, zoos are cages for animals, like jail, and they have tears in their eyes, and animals are with us, not for us.
That's so right, Vedika. Advait, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I would like to answer.
Yes,
Zoos, we shouldn't go to zoos because the animals, because actually zoos are cages for animals, and they have families. So when we go to see them, they feel depressed, anxious, and they have fear.
that's so right. And it is same with the circuses and other places where animals are used for entertainment of humans. Can we all imagine us behind the cages performing for animals? No. So why do we want all these beautiful creatures behind the bars, and we just go and just look at them? I have been asked questions actually when I initially turned vegan, that, oh, so how do your kids know about, how do they learn about elephant or lion? I say just the same way they learn about dinosaurs. We don't go in any zoo and see dinosaurs, So
Yeah.
by reading and watching documentaries. So there are a lot of ways, and I come from a very small town. I never went to a zoo, but I know about animals. So we don't, the zoos are not a place to learn about animals, right?
I want to tell something.
Yes, please, Swara.
Yeah, elephants are um, animals. Animals, and when they're like in a hotter place, that actually they have 7 layers of skin, and they when they need like coldness in there because they stay in a very hot like hotter place, so they go to muddy waters, and they splash water on their body to get coolness in their body. And they also walk very slow.
What else? Temple.
But in
Yeah, I want to tell you something. When like once when I went to like in the road to give elephant banana, I saw that people were hitting the elephants and putting chain on their leg. And I saw that the elephant was crying, so I also felt very bad in my heart. So I thought to be I want to just make that elephant free.
yes, so
Yeah.
we all try not to be part of that cruel process where animals are used for our pleasure, entertainment, rights. So beautifully put, children here.
I think we get it. I think like they get it better than us, you know.
Yes,
Look at the
absolutely.
elephant, and when we look at the monkeys in the cages, I think many of the adults will get pleasure from it. I don't know, it's very sad, but when kids see it, I think they see it in a very different light.
And more sad, what is even in the school outbound trips, zoo is a must.
Yeah, sadly.
That's really sad.
Yeah.
Hello.
So I'd like to, yeah. Hi, Devi.
Yeah, so there is a story which I had mentioned in the session, and somebody had asked me from the group to mention the story related to the same topic. So, can I share it now or should I wait?
Um, I think we can go. We'll give you an opportunity to talk about that story.
Yeah,
I remember that story that you had mentioned. It's a beautiful
yeah,
story.
sure,
We definitely want to share it with everybody.
sure. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Devi. Um, so, you know, the kids are vegan for so many various reasons. And I'd like to see if, you know, some of our kids can share why they're vegan. Can we start with Om? Om, can you tell us why you're vegan?
I am vegan for my good health, and I'm vegan because I do not want to be the cause of harm or suffering to any animal, and I want to lessen my negative impact on the environment.
That's right. Because veganism has so many different aspects, right? It's not only for your health, it's not only for the environment, it's for the animals. It's all different. You know, just by going vegan, you're changing so many things around you.
Yes.
Anyway, any other kid wants to talk about why they are vegan? Devi, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so it's only been a few months, but I hope others see me going vegan. It's as a protest against all the animal cruelty and the things that is happening, because it's not a great thing to be proud of or anything. So I am showing my care for the animals and the impact in the society it creates and the environment by going vegan. It wasn't easy for me, but then I also took a firm decisions and went ahead with it because I want to reduce the problems as much as possible. So going vegan is like a strong protest for me, like me without me being violent, because sometimes the cruelty of animals brings also an anger in me because, you know, why are they doing this? It's not fair. But instead of protesting against that, I stopped consuming all animal products. So that's a silent way of protesting against it. Yeah.
That's a very good way of protesting against it. And we all can do our bit, right? Even if it's a drop in the ocean, like when I turned vegan, people would say it's just a drop in the ocean. It's not going to make a difference. But 23 years now after 23 years, I see the huge difference around me. So every little bit matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
So we have all these wonderful kids, and I'm sure you have been invited to birthday parties, and sometimes they know that you're vegan and sometimes they don't. So Nirvan, could you tell us that when you go to birthday parties, how do you get along? Do you feel left out, or you don't have things to eat? How do you do that, Nirvan?
Usually, when I go to a birthday party, they usually arrange for a cake or a pizza for me, a vegan one. But if they don't, my mom usually bakes a cupcake or a cake and gives it to me for the party.
That's really really very nice way. So your mom is really nice and she makes cupcakes, so you don't feel left out. So do your friends ask there that why are you not eating the cake but you're eating your own cupcake?
No, they don't ask mainly because mainly the host of the party will tell them what veganism is, and so they don't usually ask me.
Have your friends tried your vegan cupcakes and liked it more than their cake? Has it happened?
Yeah, sometimes in my school parties at school, when we have parties, like my mom usually tells me the host to give some like vegan pizza or cake, and every time that I get a special one, all the kids want it.
I mean, they should know that you're not missing on anything. You have very tasty, yummy cupcakes, and so all the kids here, I would like to tell that we don't miss anything, and we enjoy every food what a non-vegan eats, right? All of you will agree with me, I guess.
I agree.
And mothers put real great effort. I know. I've been looking at the pages and pictures and all the mothers who are doing really great, getting not depriving their children and yet teaching them to lead a sustainable lifestyle. And I think you have
Yeah.
a poll coming up, Neetu.
Yes. So we'd like to get everybody involved here, and we have a poll similar to the last one, but we'd like the kids to tell us, kids and adults, whoever wants to participate, which one of this is not vegan.
Not
So we have
vegan.
the choices are sugar, honey, oil, flour, and salt. These are generally ingredients found in a lot of the kids' foods, the cookies and cakes and everything else. So please tell us which one of this is not vegan. All right, so I think we can have the results. So, oh, looks like everybody agrees that honey is not vegan, which is great. Can I have Vedika and Advait elaborate on why honey is not vegan? I think a lot of the people think honey is vegan. So can you tell us, Vedika, Advait?
Honey is not vegan because people snatch it from the bees. It's basically bees puke.
Yeah, it is.
And they kill the bees also. They
They do
smoke.
in the process. A lot of the bees die, right?
And they
I
squeeze
see.
out the honey from the beehive.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Advait, you want to add a little bit more about this?
Yes, honey is for honeybees. They collect nectar from flowers and make honey and store it as their food. So, if we take honey, that it means that we are taking their food. And our famous scientist Albert Einstein said that if honeybees go extinct, we will also go extinct.
That is true. A lot of the people don't know that the honey bees are they harvest our crops. The food that we eat, we cannot have that food without having the bees to harvest them. We cannot manually harvest them. So if all the bees in this world die, we will not be far behind. We'll also not be able to survive. So honey is actually, a lot of times we don't realize honey is used in a lot of the cookies, the candies, the cakes, and even parents sometimes would add honey as a sugar substitute, thinking it's healthier. But what they don't know is that honey has just as much sugar and just as much unhealthy as it is for as sugar is. So we are not substituting something for something else thinking it's healthy. Like even a lot of cough syrups and cough drops, they have it. They have beeswax in a lot of detergents and cosmetics. I don't think that's required. It doesn't help the product in any way. So it's a note to the mothers and to whoever, the parents, that honey is very cruel. A lot of the bees die. We cannot survive without the bees, and we should avoid it.
So right. So no bees, no life. Yeah. Uh, can I ask Tanvi, our littlest member here?
Yeah.
Tanvi, what is your favorite food?
What is your favorite food?
Apple,
Noodles.
pizza,
Choose pizza.
then pizza, and then apple. That's it.
That's it. Great. So how do you get vegan pizza?
My mom makes.
So lucky. I'm going to come over one day, right?
Yes, please.
Yes, please. I also want to come in here.
Sure. Saket, what is your favorite food? Can you tell us? Saket, what is your favorite
My favorite food is chocolate and French fries and carrots and chocolate cake.
food? So basically you like a lot of chocolate. And we have so many different chocolates now available, easily available, right?
Yes.
It's vegan chocolate.
Yeah.
It's
What
vegan
Vegan
chocolate.
chocolate.
chocolate, yes. Yapti, what do you like to eat? Vyapti, can you tell me
Yes,
what you like to eat? Which is your favorite vegan food?
macaroni and cheese.
Oh wow. So your mom also makes vegan cheese?
Yes,
That is so fantastic. So vegan kids don't miss on mac and cheese, right? Yeah. So we see, Neetu, that all these kids, they are so they are so young and they have such control on their palate. They don't want to taste anything other than vegan food just because they love animals. It's overwhelming, and we have adults who just don't understand many times. And I'm sure these kids have gone through phases where someone else is eating a non-vegan pizza, and but their control is just amazing. How brave they are to
Yeah,
stand by what they believe.
absolutely. Absolutely. It's amazing. And you know what the best part is living in today's world is that so many vegan options are available for them. So they don't have to deprive themselves really. Yes, they know, like for example, somebody eating a non-vegan pizza that they can go home or they can go to the store and buy a nice big slice of vegan pizza. They're not really depriving themselves also, which is great. Of course, they have a lot of control. My son will never go and say, I want to have what the other kid is having. He's having chicken fingers. I don't want to. I don't think he wants to have it because he loves that animal so much. But the fact that they can get mock meats and mock cheeses and mock milks, everything, I think it makes their life so much easier. So
Absolutely.
much easier. I'd like to ask, like, I know Om's here. When you meet your friends and they come to know that you're vegan, how do they react? Like, do they look down upon you, or they are very accepting of you?
It's a bit of a mixed thing because some of my friends, I don't know if they're acting like that consciously or they just forgot, but they'll come during lunch or during a party or something and say, "Can you have this? Can you eat this?" Then I said I'm vegan. So then they say, "Oh, you cannot eat it." Then I have to keep correcting them that no, it's not that I cannot eat it. It's just that I choose not to eat it. And for some people, they get defensive, and they say, some of my friends say, "What are you missing out? Like, why can't you just eat this? You know, it's everyone does. It's okay." I just say, why do you eat it even though I've told you all of the negative impacts that it puts on the environment and on animals, yet you still eat it. Why don't you first think about that? And they just seal their mouth. So over the years, I have developed a way to not aggressively educate people, but still defend my opinion.
Right, right. I think it's more important for them to know that you can have it, but you don't have it. Right? That's a very strong thing that you say. I've been saying it all my life that I can. Don't feel sorry for me. I'm nothing. It's a choice I've made, a very conscious choice, but I don't want to have it. So that's very nice, Om, that you um, convey that.
Something.
Yeah, go ahead, Om.
I have this one friend who doesn't seem to get this message. So he keeps asking me with every food he gets, "Oh, can you have this? Can you have that?" Or and like he's saying, "You're missing out." I'm saying, then what my response always, it's the same thing. I'm not missing out. You are missing out on the fact that you could have saved so much carbon emissions and you could have saved so much animals from getting killed and tortured just by changing your diet. So then he keeps quiet. But I don't know why he doesn't get it. So some people are like that.
Yeah, he will get it soon. It's all over now. People are talking about veganism in mainstream. People will get it eventually. Nirvan, do you have anything to say about when your friends when they come to know about um you're being vegan? How do they react?
They mostly react to it like like they keep asking whenever they eat something. They keep asking me, "Can you have this? Can you have that?" But then I always tell them I can have it, but I don't.
Okay. And are they okay with that?
Yeah,
Are they okay with the answer?
most of the time, yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you.
I want to tell. Once when I was in the bus, Jeevita, in my friend, in my school bus, I told that you are eating dead food in your meal. Dead animal in your meal. So when she went home, she told this to her mom that don't give me dead
animal in my meal.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So she understood, right?
Say you are hungry.
Yeah,
What do
Neetu,
you
I think we just, we are so disconnected with everything, the current system, that we don't just think where does our food come from. And while I was teaching, I would have kids and I would ask that, about dairy or something. They would not even know where fruits came for many of the answers were like from the supermarket. So we are so disconnected, the whole system and the conditioning in such a way that we have kept our kids away from reality.
That's absolutely right. I think we market it so well. They don't see where it's coming from. They say when if slaughterhouses had glass walls, everybody would be vegan,
Yeah,
right? We don't know where all the bloodshed and everything happens. We just see what comes prepared, nicely plated, and given to us with all the flavors and everything.
that's so right.
Yeah,
And can we have one more poll?
sure. Let's do it.
Number 3. Yeah, let's do it.
So the poll says which one of this is vegan? The options are silk, wool, leather, fur, or cotton. We encourage everybody to participate in this. So most people are saying that cotton is vegan, right?
Yeah, cotton. And we
Some
have
people
other
think wool is
options.
vegan. Yeah.
We have other options, right? So can I have Vedika tell more about silk? Why silk is not vegan?
Silk is not vegan because people boil silkworms alive. And they just boil the silkworms alive just for our clothes, and we can wear something else.
That's
Like
right.
cotton.
Yeah. So many it's just again marketing and no awareness. So even I used to wear a lot of silk saris, and once I came to, I never thought silkworm silk saris. I was so disconnected, and once I realized that to make one silk sari, so many tiny worms are boiled alive. I was, had a great regret, and I moved to cottons, linens. We have so many other fabrics which don't harm animals. So we don't need, just for our pleasure to look good when we have other options, or even if we didn't have, we don't need to, you have something for our pleasure. So yes, many of the people don't know that silk is not vegan, and I hope that more and more vegan silks are available. And I think more the demand, more things will be available for us, and more awareness will be there. Yeah. Can I have Nirvan? Could you tell something about wool? Where does wool come from, and why is it not vegan?
Wool comes from sheep and it's not vegan because when in the wool farms they cut off the sheep's tail and they put a chemical in their fur, no, in their wool so that they grow extra wool. And they get so much wool that they can't even walk. And when they shave them for the wool, in the winter they die of cold.
Yes, again another mean act by humans. They breed the sheep, and actually that sheep hair is to protect the sheep from cold. But we want wool, so they are being they take that wool, and it's really painful. And like Nirvan said, they chop off the tail, put chemicals, really cruel process. And now we have a lot of acrylic wool and other options to protect us from extreme winter. So when we have option, we should always choose cruelty-free options to protect ourselves. So well put, Nirvan.
Nirvan also told me that he had a little poem for like a nursery rhyme that he had made up. So Nirvan, do you want to share that?
Yeah, it's the vegan version of Baba Black Sheep. Baba Black Sheep, have you any wool? No sir, because wool is very cool. It's not for your shirt or your sweater. It's my hair to keep you warm in the winter.
Wow, that's a beautiful vegan version of Baba Black Sheep. See, Neetu again. Again, kids are conditioned from the so young age that sheep's purpose is to give us wool. Again.
Yeah.
So
In
actually,
the nursery
education
rhymes
system.
itself, we say one for my master, one for his dame. Like
Yeah.
it's almost like they're giving it away. Take it from me. Whereas the wool is for them, for their protection.
Yeah, similar to like you remember we used to have these write 5 lines on cow, and we would write cow gives us milk. Cow
Mm-hmm.
doesn't walk us with a jar of milk, but we
Yeah.
have never told. So the whole education system is also at fault, I think. We
Yes.
have kept our children from reality.
Right. Right. Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. Swara, can you
Yes.
tell us something about fun? I know you participated in a fancy dress competition.
She participated. Rabbit. Please say. People um, snatch fur from animals, and like they just remove the skin that the animals cry, but still they remove the humans.
Yeah,
That's not right. Why? Because the animals get hurt and people don't understand that um, you should not wear fur dresses.
yes, lots and
That's
lots of
you became
beautiful fur creatures are, every year they are being deprived of a good, a normal life. Yes,
you became rabbit in fancy dress, right? Yeah.
tell us something.
I became, I became rabbit in fancy dress. I became rabbit in fancy dress. And I
You
hold
are
the
being such a lovely rabbit. What message did you give it
hold
message?
it. I hold saying please don't wear. Okay. I holded a board. Okay. I holded a board.
You
Saying
held a board. What did it say?
don't wear fur. Don't wear fur.
Yes, and now do you know we have a lot of fur which is not from animals. So if at all you need to have fur, you have. Yeah, this doesn't come from animal, right? Yes. So furry creatures
It came from cotton.
yes, furry creatures look good with fur on. We don't need their fur.
Yeah.
So we have leather, right? So someone to talk about leather? Can we have someone who can share something about leather? Why is leather not vegan?
Maybe Devi can
I
talk about it.
got leather.
Devi, can you tell a little bit about leather?
Anybody?
Yeah, sure, I can share.
Advait?
No,
Devi?
Devi,
Yeah,
Devi
please go
start.
ahead.
Yeah,
Please go ahead.
so I don't know much about the whole thing, but I'm sure that leather is not vegan because it's shaved off from animals, and because after the leather is shaved off of the animals are like good for nothing. Like they cannot be used for anything because after you shave it off, like when the leather is taken, either it's after they're killed or after they are dead. Most of the time they're killed because you have to take the leather, to take, to make handbags, to make belts, to make shoes and things like that. So but I think the more when you're becoming a vegan, the less you buy, the less they produce. The more you buy, the more they will make because of the customers. So
Absolutely,
yeah.
supply and chain. Yes. And Devi, I did know for a long time that they 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 slit the
I
skin when
want to tell
many of the
something.
animals are still alive, like the crocodile skin. The crocodiles are still alive when they're being cut and the skin is being ripped off. Also, I can't remember
I
the
want to tell you something.
certain I'll give you plan. Let me complete. So certain brands, they have special leather, and that is of a calf. A calf. It will mention. So
Yeah.
I didn't know for a long time. I also thought that after the animals are dead, the skin is ripped off. But many of the animals are cut alive. Just it's so I just can't imagine that. And in the name of vanity, fashion, it's still a very big market.
Yeah, and
Lot of
actually,
yes, Devi.
can I share? Yeah, so just wanted to share, because the more I sit in the session, like even more than 90% of the things which I already know, to keep listening. And just the fact that even though the small change which I'm making, there is a lot happening still. And it's really sad, because like I personally, after knowing about vegan facts, like what made me a vegan, I've spent sleepless nights just thinking about the whole thing, and just people just don't seem to get it. I hope they do soon. And they ask like ridiculous questions like, who's there to create a balance? What if the hens increase, or what if the cows increase? I mean, we are not created to, keep a balance over there. So yeah, it's really, yeah, it's really sad. Like even when I was thinking, when the more I was hearing, it's just brought tears to my eyes just to think that I'm playing a quite limited role.
I
Because
want
yeah.
to tell something
But Devi, that
wonderful.
is so important. Every drop, like Neetu mentioned, every drop, every action of you counts, and you have friends, you have people around. I'm sure even if one is inspired, you'll feel really happy. So there are days when this rainforest, Amazon rainforest was on fire. It's still on, and so many animals. And so I was like, what am I sitting and doing here? And I was feeling very helpless, and I was doing activism, and we were talking about a plant-based diet and how sustainable it is, and they're like, okay, so but you know it's just one person. I said, do you know about the rainforest being burnt there? And do you know that by just changing your diet, you can actually
I breathe
contribute
again.
in giving there. So every person counts. So let's keep our spirits high, Devi.
Yeah.
I really know where you're coming from, and I'm sure all of us have been there. But oh, hope is all we have, right?
Yeah, sure, definitely.
I want to tell you something wonderful.
Okay,
In,
Yes.
Swara.
Kar- in Karnataka, they are making with plastic. They are making instruments,
Oh, nice.
mridangam and tabla.
Yes.
Really?
Karunai something, right?
Karunya musicals.
Yeah. And I also want to tell something. The leather is taken by cows.
Yes.
Yes.
The skin.
Snakes, even snakes, snakes eat
Mm.
that too. Yeah.
It's very sad. It's very sad. It's an industry by itself. A lot of people think that leather is a byproduct of the meat industry, that all the cows that are killed for meat, their leather is being used. No, leather is an industry by itself. And if when we make the choice to wear the leather slippers, I have friends who've said my leather bag lasts with me 20 years. And I say, what's the point of that leather bag? You can get so much better quality and such good looking bags for, the price is also lower and you're not even hurting an animal. Was it worth it for an animal just to die for your bag?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not what's on your plate that matters. It's also the choices that you make. You can make a choice of hurting an animal and not hurting an animal. Frankly, in this day and age, you're actually making that choice because everything is available, fake, faux. Whatever you want to eat, whatever you want to wear. You want to wear fur, faux fur is available. You want to get a nice leather bag, a fake leather bag is available. A nice pair of shoes is available. Everything that you want. A silk sari, you can get a look-alike silk sari without killing the silkworms. So everything that you want to wear, eat is available, and you should make the choice of not hurting an animal. That's the most
Absolutely.
important thing.
Yes, yes. We have older kids here like Om and Devi. So I'm sure you guys read, or you have any incidences to share, or something you read or saw any documentary, which Om? Yes, Om.
When I was in first grade, I had read a book called Black Beauty by Anna Sewell. It was about the life of a horse with a white star on its head, a black horse with a white star, and how her life from she was born and taken away from her mother to her death, and the friendships she makes with other horses, and how she lives as a cart horse in 18th century in 19th century England, and it was very I wish I could have been more inquisitive after reading the book, instead of, because that was the first time I thought about animal cruelty, and I just wish I had made the choice to research more or like ask my parents or something, so I could have become vegan earlier.
Actually, my father is a
Amma,
complete
you're muted.
vegan. Actually, my father is a vegan, and the thing is, he doesn't eat meat, fish, or anything, not even sugar, oil, or anything. He's really thin, and he walks almost kilometers. That's the problem, and he also has heart attack. That's big problem.
Sometimes it's also genetics. We cannot help it.
When I was in first standard itself, he started like every day the dinner would be kanyi. That's all, like rice, bro. That's all. Like
Okay.
8 years every 8 years now. It's still we have rice and bro for dinner.
Okay. Anu, you want to talk about that?
Uh, Neetu, I think you take over.
Preeta, can I talk to you after the call
Yes, ma'am.
separately?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
thank you. Thank you so much.
So, can I use this opportunity to share the story?
Yes,
Since
please.
yeah, sure. So, there are two things I want to share. One is definitely the story. The other thing that I wanted to share is being vegan is definitely creating a change, like everyone said. And the thing is, nobody actually thinks from the animal's perspective, like never ever. Like when you get a leather bag, and like how Neetu auntie said, they actually think about, so if there was a glass cage and they made like killed an animal or took the leather in front of your eyes, then made a bag out of it and give it to you, would you use it? So if the answer is no, so how can you use the bag when you don't see the process behind it? It's just a thought which I wanted to share. So next is a story. So this is it's a novel. It's called a tiger for Malgudi. It's a story by R.K. Narayan. It was a quite popular story. It was a novel, and in my mom's times, R.K. Narayan was a very good novelist. Like when I used to, because I was into too much of fiction, like I couldn't relate to his books. But then later, it slowly started changing, and I started liking a bit more organic and conscious books. So in that story, there are two chapters which I read. It's called A Tiger Comes to Town. So basically, it's about a tiger, which it's the story is from the tiger's perspective. So the chapter starts off by there is a tiger in the circus, and he has a master. For some reason, the master is a learned person, and the tiger actually one day he had his full. So a tiger is a carnivore, so obviously it has meat. So they had fed him meat, and then it was completely full, and then it found an open gate and then escaped through the gate. So there were no watchers or anything. So it didn't run or anything, just walked down the gate and then slowly started going towards the town. So in the story, the tiger is the main character. So the tiger shares, I just wanted to get some fresh air, just see what the outside world is, because it's been so long since he saw, because it's in the cage in the zoo. So he comes out and then he starts walking through the town. And then the moment he enters, even though he did not make any sound or pounce on anyone, people started running helter-skelter, and they started hiding inside cupboards, going inside houses, doors, locking themselves in whatever they found, and then screaming and doing all kind of things because they were uh, really, really scared. And then so when the tiger was walking, the tiger was completely perplexed, because in the circus, when he's performing tricks, jumping through what else, the loops of fire, and standing on a ball and whatnot, they don't seem to move, because all the audience just sits there and watches. But when he comes to the town and he's just he's in direct contact with the human beings, he just realized that uh, human beings are, after all, they're just timid by just seeing a tiger. And he later understood that. So the fun part of the story was when actually he continues walking, a horse which was standing near in one of the places near a farm kind of thing, it tore off itself from the thing, which it's called a jukka in Hindi. So it tore it off from that thing and then started running, seeing its master, because the master was scared and started running at it. He just abandoned the horse. So seeing that, the horse also got scared. And then after a long time, he was just completely so in the story he tells us, like the readers, that I don't know why these people are running, because I thought they are like brave people, but in front of me they're just like small things and they're completely scared. And then they said, tiger, I'm a tiger, so I'm an animal. I eat only when I need, so I don't kill things in purpose. So I just eat when I'm hungry. So when I'm given meat or when I kill animals, I do it for myself and I eat, not like human beings where they kill just for fun. And that is definitely an eye opener, because when you think about it, that I'm going to use the word we, because human beings, they destroy all sort of things just for fun or to create money and things like that. But at the same time, animals are not like that. They have so much more conscience than us, and they kill or eat only when it's needed, and it's part of the ecosystem. And we are doing so many things out of it. So I think it's definitely something to think about, and I wanted to share the story, hoping that people would actually think about it.
That's
It's a
a
very
beautiful
interesting story. Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah. And we keep seeing in the news and all about the trophy hunting, fishing. So all these things, and when and sometimes you will find a kid, he will stop while walking, he will go down, bend, and look at a small caterpillar or a snail or a centipede crossing the road. And as parents, I think we should not tell him, let's go, move fast, just step on it, or we should just come down to that level with the child. And that's a very good a way a parent and a child can bond. And it's indirectly the parent is teaching the child to respect those tiny beings, because your size doesn't make you stronger, bigger, and more powerful. It's the love and the kindness which will make you more powerful. So
Definitely.
My cousin
brother
my cousin brother wants to say.
Aditya,
Yes.
are you there, Aditya? Hello, Aditya. Aditya, you can unmute and say what you want to say about animals.
Is Aditya vegan too?
No, he is not, but he is an animal lover.
I think after listening to all these wonderful kids, he might turn vegan.
Aditya, can you call your mom to unmute you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Aditya,
thing
you can go.
The thing is that sometimes people kill rhinos for the horns. They just take the horn, just cut off the horn and just leave the rhino in the jungle or just dig it up in the ground. They
Right.
don't do anything. Then they just take the horn and sell it to make money.
That's amazing. Yes, you're right. Absolutely right, Aditya. They don't even they do it to rhinos. They also take the teeth of the elephants. You know, elephant has big teeth. They take the teeth and they call it ivory, and they make bangles. They make gods idols with it. They do all sorts of things with those things.
You can tell about the way.
Oh, and sometimes people go out to sea. Sometimes people go out to sea and they just like take whales. And
Yes.
there are some type of whales that give oil. So they just take the whale and just cut it and they just cook the oil and just leave the whale dead in the water.
Yes, and they are thinking that the whale will survive because they just slit the neck and it can heal itself. It cannot. Even when the people are fishing, they put a little hook in the mouth of the fish. It leaves a cut in their mouth and they cannot survive. They die. You're right. Thank you, Aditya, for thinking so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity.
Oh.
Can we
Next
have one
time,
more poll? Neetu, can we
next
have a
time
poll?
we can have, yeah, you speak. Yeah. Let's have a poll. Let's have a poll, and this is our last poll, and hopefully it will cause a lot of thinking in us. So
All the cars in
which
the
of
world,
these
all the
causes the
houses
most
all
pollution?
the ships in
What
the
do you
world,
think? All
the
the cars
factories
in
in
the
the
world, all the houses
animal
in this world.
agriculture.
Sorry, can we have the mic muted, please? Whose mic is on? Can we have it muted, please?
Agriculture.
All right. Let me go back to my poll question, which is, which causes the most pollution? What do you think? All the cars in the world together, all the houses in this world where we are using so much fuel, all the ships and planes in this world together, all the ships, all the planes. If you put them together, okay?
All the
Animal
factories in
agriculture,
the world,
meaning the
animal
milk.
agriculture. എന്തായിരിക്കും ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ pollution ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നത്?
Can we
All
have a
the
mic,
time.
please?
All
All the animal agriculture, um, meaning milk, meat, for the fur and everything, just including everything, right? And all the factories in this world. You see all the, there's a lot of fumes coming out of the factories. What do you think? Which causes the most pollution? So we have the results. 78% people think that it's the animal agriculture, which is correct. And then some 21% people think that there are factories in the world. Let me tell you this: the factories in the world, if you add all the cars in the world, all the houses in the world, all the ships and planes and all the transportation, trucks, everything, right? And all the industries and all the factories, you will still be less polluting the world less than animal agriculture. All of them together. And still, animal agriculture will be way ahead um, in pollution. Can Om, can you elaborate a little bit on this?
Yes, animal agriculture is one of the largest contributors to global warming because livestock farming produces greenhouse gases at every step. The rearing and breeding of the livestock produces a significant amount of methane and carbon dioxide but mostly methane by the burps and farts. And methane is 100 times more potent than carbon dioxide. So keeping this in mind. Then the next steps of slaughtering, processing, packaging, and delivering all produce a sizable quantity of atmospheric emissions, comprising of CO2 and methane. And so, in my opinion, the easiest way to combat climate change is to change your diet. And if everyone changed their diet to a vegan one, climate change would visibly begin to decelerate within the next 5 to 10 years. So
Wow,
it might even stop climate change, but it definitely cannot reverse it for another 1,000 years.
that's amazing. Imagine, I mean, the kind of pollution we are causing just by the food choices we are making. How about deforestation? Devi, can you tell us a little bit about deforestation?
Yeah, sure. So I would like to start with what is deforestation. So basically, deforestation is permanently removing trees, forests, or plants in order to build. Am I audible?
Yeah, Aditya, can you mute your mic, beta, please?
Oh, mic mute ಏನದು?
Yeah, thank you, Aditya. Devi, you can continue.
Yeah, so deforestation is permanently removing trees, forests, or plants in order to build factories, industries, or houses, etc. So forests cover more than 30% of the Earth's wildlife. And according to the Wildlife Fund, forests provide more than 13.4 million people with jobs in the forest sector. And 41 million people have other jobs related to the forest. So because of deforestation, their jobs are also being thrown away. And deforestation mainly happens in the tropical areas of the earth. And since the beginning of the 20th century, 3.9 million square miles of forest have been lost. And an important piece of information is every second a chunk of forest equivalent the size of a soccer field is lost. So every second, the size of a forest, the size of a soccer field, is lost every second. So forests are home to 80% of the terrestrial. Forests are home to 80% of the terrestrial biodiversity, including trees, plants, animals, and microbes. And another important thing is trees are the ones which absorb carbon dioxide, and we let out carbon dioxide. So if there are no trees to give us oxygen, it's the obvious what's going to happen. So so now what can you do? So if the deforestation was reduced, I'm sure that we wouldn't be walking with something like this every day. Now it's a coronavirus, but then later we'll have to permanently switch something to this, or with a permanent oxygen tanks behind the back. And people don't actually think about, you can just try to save the trees. So how can you contribute towards deforestation is what I want to ask. So the first and the most simple thing and the most warm thing what you can do is just go and hug a tree. When you hug a tree, you will just through the touch, you will just personally realize that that's the quickest way. It's that easy because you'll just realize how important a tree is in your life and how much it contributes. And next is raise awareness about deforestation and try to spread messages about afforestation as much as possible. Protest against any organization which anything which is supporting deforestation, because protesting is a huge way you can contribute. Always support companies and products which are made using which actually don't cause much of environmental pollution and things like that. And stop using paper as much as possible, because paper actually comes from trees, obviously. So reduce paper as much as possible. In like stop using stop keeping newspapers at home, because already there is internet and stuff like that. So if you want to know about the news, read it online. Try to ban paper from, like, the plastic is slowly getting reduced. Stop paper as well in offices and houses, and recycle and reuse things as much as possible, because it contributes a lot. Try to spend less money on clothes, on paper, on stationery and things like that. Just a small thing can actually create a huge change. And yeah, so always support people who are also working hard for this. I have seen people who protest against things like that. When you're caring for the animals, care for these plants as well, because if the plants don't exist, the animals don't exist. If the animals don't exist, we don't exist. And if they both don't exist, we don't exist. At the same time, if we don't exist, they don't exist as well. So thinking about this whole cycle, try to be aware and conscious about our movements.
So here's the thing, right, Devi? All the tips are amazing. By reducing paper usage and all hugging a tree. But the best thing you can do for saving our Amazon, for all our forests that are being killed right now, the best thing you can do is go vegan, because the most land that is being that we need for raising the livestock, unfortunately we call it livestock. They are living beings. We are raising them for eating, right, on those lands, which we grow those crops for them. We grow so much crops. For growing the crops to feed the animals who can then feed us, we're killing all the forests. If we go vegan, we'll not have to cut all those trees. We'll be able to grow whatever food we require in the land that we already have, and we'll be fine, and there'll be no hunger in this world. So going vegan is the best thing you can do. You don't even need to reduce your paper usage or whatever. Like, of course you should do all those things. Everything matters, but the biggest thing you can do is go vegan.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yep.
Would you like to tell about
something
livestock farming?
about coronavirus.
Your question.
Will you wait for 2 minutes? Let Om Anna talk. Then we'll talk about coronavirus. Yes, Om.
Yes, can you repeat your question, please? I couldn't
So,
hear.
how livestock farming is one of the major factor in water pollution also?
Oh, high quantities of nutrients in water from industrial crop fertilizers and animal waste cause excessive aquatic plant growth, a process known as eutrophication, which in turn causes hypoxia or water that is low in oxygen. Harmful algal blooms or HABs occur when aquatic algae grow rapidly out of control and can suffocate the water life by clogging up the gills of fish and coating the layer of the pond or a lake in algae, which prevents the other plants from getting sunlight, which causes dead zone in the water.
Mm-hmm. How can you relate it to animal agriculture?
So yes, so one of the things I said was from industrial crop fertilizers and animal waste, because the fertilizers have nutrients which feed the algae, and the fertilizers are used. In fact, most of the fertilizers produced in the world go towards making food for the animals to feed. And I also said animal waste also enters the water, which is very nutritious for the algae as well. So these two factors are the main causes for eutrophication.
Mm. You're absolutely right. Thank you for all the scientific things we didn't even know.
Yeah, mind-boggling. Yeah, we have Tanvi. She wanted to say something about coronavirus.
And people don't understand that they keep on drinking
Coronavirus.
Corona virus is made of Chinese market, and Chinese are selling the meat to other person, and the other person will get the virus in the hand, and it spread everywhere. And I want to tell an example. Like one person gets a coronavirus and it meets a other person, so that person will get, and when it goes home, the whole family gets the coronavirus.
Yes, it's very sad. We are stuck at home, right? Yes, Vedika, you were raising your hand. Yes, Vedika, you were raising your hand.
If we eat plants only, all the coronavirus things wouldn't have happened.
That's so right. If we just ate plants, yes, this pandemic wouldn't have happened, and so
Yes.
many other diseases will not happen if we just ate plants. Have we ever heard that this person ate mangoes and spinach and he fell sick and he had this and that? No, we don't.
So we already have heard our kids talk so much about veganism. They have elaborated so much in depth about what different aspects of veganism is. But when they go out and talk to their family and friends, what kind of pushback do they get? Do you, Advait, for example, when you talk about veganism to your friends and family or somebody else, do you get any opposition from them? They say, "Oh, what you're doing is wrong," or they fight with you, they argue with you. Does it ever happen?
Yeah, I was saying that yes, when I tell that I'm vegan, so some say cool, some say very good, but I have a friend who doesn't seem to believe that at all. Means at any cause. Multiple times I have explained him, but still he doesn't try to understand it. So let me come to that how they understand that what is veganism. So when I tell them I'm vegan, they understand that in place of understanding this, that I don't eat cows animals milk, they understand I don't drink milk at all. Means neither plant milk, neither cow's milk. So now there's some misconceptions. So one of my friends today, told them that I'm vegan. So one said cool. So but they said but you don't, but I don't think you have cereal because it's made of milk. So I corrected her. I've corrected her that a little correction is there. So I told her that cereals can be made up of plant-based milks of like almond milk, cashew milk, soy milk, etc. So this is my friend's reaction.
Okay. So you handle it very politely. You tell them that there are options available, that they don't
Yes.
have, then you don't have to really compromise. You can make, and that's healthy also, right? What you're
Yes,
eating is healthier. Yeah, that's very good, Advait.
absolutely.
Devika, you want to add something to this?
Vedika,
Vedika?
she's missing. Vedika, will you tell us that if has it happened with you that someone said something and you didn't like it, or how do you react when people say something about what you're eating? How do you react?
Once I was eating ice cream, and in one of the like parties or something, um, somebody told me that my ice cream is better than your ice cream, because then I said your ice cream has cow pus.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, so
Yes, it has
even adults
us
sometimes they
that
mock.
also sometimes. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's rude actually, when these kids don't say anything about what you are eating, it should be very right for them not to comment on what these kids are eating and make them feel small and that they're missing something. So yeah, which like we respect, we don't, I mean, we don't interfere on what their lifestyle or things. They should also just respect these little kids especially, and tiny kids who and I think they don't realize that these are smart kids and they'll answer properly, like
They are very, they are very educated on
compass.
what their choices are.
Yeah.
It's not forced upon them. It's not that, I've realized with vegan kids, it's not that we are like, how when we were growing up, certain things were like religious or otherwise was said, this is the way we do it. There's no explanation given. But our kids, these kids, vegan kids, are very aware of why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
And we saw evident from all the kids that we spoke today. Everybody knows what they're doing and why they're doing what they're doing.
And I'm aware that few of the kids go for activism also. uh Advait, do you or Om?
Yes, I go. I hold placards. As long as the activism is going, I also talk to people, and the people when they come across me, some say very good, some say very good, very good. They clap, they applause, but some just look at me and then go away.
Yeah,
And they
That's
put up
okay.
the
really great. At such a young age, you're already into creating awareness. Om, would you like to add?
Yes, I go for vegan outreaches, which is a sort of form of activism where um, we go to a site like the last one I went to was we had gone to Facebook's office, and we for 3 days consecutively we set up a stall where we played like games with the passerbys, and asked them a few questions and got them to be more inquisitive
But
about.
you're a kid, so do they take you really serious?
Yes, they seem to take me more seriously as I'm the only kid in that organization. So yes, they take me more seriously than they take some of the other adult volunteers.
Yeah. So I think the kids are they have a special cute factor attached to them, and they, when these kids go out and create awareness, it has better impact in the sense that, adults feel that these small kids who are the future, they know so much, and, they slow down and listen to them. So really nice, and continue to do so.
I think Nirvan can tell you a little bit about Ringling Brothers. We used to go when Ringling was there.
Yeah, when I was 6 years old, my mom and me and some of her friends did a protest, and we eventually closed down Ringling Brothers.
How did you close down, Nirvan? Can you tell us a little bit? What did you do as a part of
I
activism?
held up posters and I passed out flyers and leaflets.
Very good.
Amazing.
And
Yeah.
Ringling is no longer there. Ringling was a big circus back in the day. Like, you couldn't even imagine that Ringling Brothers would close down the doors. First, they actually retired all the elephants, right? 1 year before they closed down, they retired all the elephants. And that was the big news already. And then they said, we are shutting doors. We are going to close forever. And that was a big, big win for all the activists, because everywhere they went, every small town that Ringling Brothers was visiting, there were activists standing outside. And it was one of those biggest names, when they came to town, it was like sort of advertising and, big, big posters and big, big billboards on the highways. All that closed down because everywhere they went, there were activists standing outside the door protesting.
Yeah.
And they lost so much business that they had to shut doors.
That's the best thing that could have happened. And I think these kids really understand that, activism is not just protesting or shouting and making noise. I think they understand that creating awareness whenever possible is also activism of a sort.
Yeah, of course. Every time they open their mouth and talk about veganism, they're planting a seed in somebody's mind.
Yeah, yeah. And can we have all these?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Anu. Anu, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sure they have their aims and what they aspire to be. So
yeah.
Can we have Tanvi?
Can you have guys? Yeah.
Tanvi, Vedika, what do you want to be?
I want to be a fashion designer. I want to be a baker and animal care and giving. I want to be then a feed for a baby or something. Baby doctor. Baby doctor. I want to be a fashion. I want to be a makeup a vegan cook chef, and I want to become a vegan fashion designer and vegan Bharatanatyam dancer.
Wow.
And a vegan bakery.
I'm sure you can be these and many more things. Nirvan, would you like to share what you aspire to be?
Yeah, I want to be like an inventor that invents things to help the animals.
Wonderful. Advait?
Yeah, I want to become a doctor, and with that, I also want to help animals. Means if someone comes to me and with an injured animal, I would never refuse to cure him, help him.
Yeah, and that's because you love animals.
Yes.
Vedika?
I want to be a vegan gymnast and
I think it's vegan gymnast. Om?
I want to be a vegan cyclist. First at a kind of national level, like in Singapore. Then I'll see if I can get there. Then I'll see international. But I aspire to be a cyclist.
Yes, and you'll break the stereotypes that plants don't have power.
Well, they can watch this movie called what is that? It's about the athletes, huh? The Game Changers. It's all about vegan athletes. An amazing documentary.
Yes.
What about Saket? Saket, what do you want to be when you grow up? Is Saket here?
I don't. Devi, would you like to tell us?
Yes, I want to be a musician and a music director and a vegan influencer, and I want to influence as much as possible.
Wow. And what about Vyapti?
She's not here anymore. She's gone. She was getting a bit restless.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. So, I think we all have shared our views on so many different topics. This was a very inspiring session.
Yes.
Can you?
Come to the end.
It's a huge round of applause for all the kids who've spoken so well, so clearly, and amazingly inspiring way.
Yes, and I think we have come to the end of a new beginning where these kids will inspire many more kids and adults also. And what a great way to get into step into a new month, which is a World Vegan Month. Tomorrow being the World Vegan Day, 1st of November, and uh, the session was full of life, love, compassion, and kindness. And these kids have taught us that any creature, being small worm to big elephants and rhinos, all need same love, compassion, and respect. And we share the planet with the animals. So we have a group of aspiring transitioning vegans. So if you like to join, we'll provide the link in the chat box. Do join. And we have also vegan moms here who are raising vegan kids. So if you like to get in touch and know more, get some tips, do let us know. We'll give you the details and you can get in touch and get all your questions answered. So have a very a good Sunday tomorrow. And till we meet again, a big thank you from all of us here.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for everyone for participating.
Thank you very much.
I want to tell you something. There is a
David Attenborough
there's a David Attenborough documentary. It's Our Planet. It tells everything about animals. You can know more about animals.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Every night I see with my family.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much.
Now all the all is finished.
Yes. All the episodes are done. Bye-bye.
Bye. And Preeta, I will get in touch with you.